the state of play results, and was it good? Housemarque reveals their brand new IP. All that in today's video. Please like the video, subscribe to keep up with everything PlayStation, and share the video to help grow our community. And we'll also be talking about the comment of the day, going over what your thoughts were on the state of play. Make sure to leave a comment to make it into the next video. Now let's jump into the state of play and what was announced there, at least as far as big titles go, and titles that I felt were pretty massive for PlayStation's platform. Starting with Borderlands 4, Gearbox basically revealed that they're going to be releasing the game on September 23rd. The new trailer gives insight into the intense action, devastating action skills, and all new movement abilities that await you on the planet Kairos. As mentioned in the trailer outro, the full Borderlands 4 gameplay reveal will debut during a state of play coming later this spring. So they have some sort of marketing deal for Borderlands 4, as they are going to be doing a state of play strictly just for Borderlands 4, which I am very excited for. I'm excited for Borderlands 4. I love Borderlands, the franchise, since the original, playing it back on the PS3, and it was a fantastic game when I did play it back then, and the sequel was good, and everyone following was good, at least in my opinion. And so Borderlands 4 is something that is exciting for me. Obviously, it raises some questions as far as what happens with GTA 6, as it's under the same banner, but I think that GTA 6 will likely still come afterwards if it's still on track, as they say. But Borderlands 4 coming out September 23rd, very big one, and also being a spring state of play will be very interesting. I'm interested in that one. Let me know if you guys are as well. This next one's a little bit, I guess we expected it, and that was Days Gone Remastered. Days Gone is basically releasing on April 25th, 2025, and it's going to be a remastered version. It's going to be dropping on PC and on PS5, and it's going to be a $10 upgrade, USD that is. If you're in other regions, it may be a little more than that. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of expected, but I think the good thing about this is that maybe this will get them to take a look at Days Gone 2. I think that maybe Sony Bend will work on Days Gone 2, especially if this sells pretty well. There are going to be, the typical upgrades for it. They're including a survival arcade mode, horde assault, and permadeath mode, and more. We're not going to go into all the things that are going to be included there. I think Days Gone Remastered, just think there's going to be some extra things added in there, but for the most part, you're looking at the Days Gone game, which is great. I love Days Gone, and I hope this incentivizes Sony to make a Days Gone 2. Next one is a big one, and that's Lost Soul Aside. Basically, we got our release date. It's going to be on PS5 and PC May 30th, and they gave us another look at the game. Game looks great. I'm very excited for this. It's been 10 years that we've been seeing this game here and there, and we're finally getting this game out eventually. It's coming up very soon, another 2025 release date. And if you think about it, a lot of these games that were shown actually got 2025 release dates, which is exciting because a lot of times we'll get games and they'll be way far out, or we don't even get a date on them. In this case, we've been blessed. They really are just showing a lot of release dates for these games, which is awesome, even if it's a release year. So Lost Soul Aside, another one, and it is going to be PS5 console exclusive, but it will be on PC as well, day and date. And the last one, which is a big one, which we will discuss further in the next topic, is Saros, Housemarque's new title, which is coming out in 2026 for PS5, PS5 Pro, and they have revealed their new IP. This is a brand new IP. This is not Returnal 2, and this is coming from Housemarque, which is very exciting because I loved Returnal, and I loved it. It's basically my favorite PS5 game up until now, as far as just PS5 only game. And yeah, it's phenomenal. I know it's on PC, but I mean, it's not a cross-gen title in PS4, PS5. So that is pretty much all the big stuff that I felt was big. Obviously, we had Metal Gear Solid, Delta. We had some other stuff. We had a collaboration with Stellar Blade and Nikki. But those are the things that I felt were super notable. Big titles, especially for the PlayStation platform. But with that said, I want to give a couple thoughts on the state of play before we jump into Housemarque's new game. And to be quite honest, watching this state of play was I felt mixed, right? On one hand, we got new announcements. On another hand, we also didn't get much gameplay for the first-party titles. I really would have loved to see some Saros gameplay. Now, obviously, they are planning to reveal some gameplay later this year, which we will talk about as well. But as far as the state of play goes, I really would have liked more gameplay, and I would have liked to see more first-party stuff. Obviously, there are things in place that could be stopping that from happening. Maybe they have a pacing that they want to hit. Maybe they don't want to show off everything at once. Maybe they want to spread it out, right? Have Ghost of Yotei have its own state of play. You know, have Death Stranding have its own state of play. You know, there are a lot of things that need to be considered. But in the case of this state of play, I felt like it had a lot of solid titles. Onimusha, right? We had Metal Gear. We had Saros. We had Borderlands 4. Like, there was a lot of great titles here. But as far as PlayStation Studios goes, it almost felt a little underwhelming in that regard. But as far as like a third-party showing, it was very solid. As far as a first-party showing, I felt it was lackluster. Now, had Saros had gameplay, that'd have been totally different, because I think having one first-party game coming with some gameplay would have been like A+ for me personally. But because we didn't get that, I felt like as far as a PlayStation standpoint goes, it could have been better. But from a third-party perspective, yeah, I could see why people loved this show. Well, let's talk about that Saros entire reveal. Like, it is a very big deal, guys. You have to understand, Housemarque already gave us Returnal this gen. They're talking about giving us another game in 2026. That means 2 titles in 1 generation. They say, today we are very proud to announce that Saros is coming to PS5 and PS5 Pro in 2026. Saros is the ultimate evolution of the Housemarque gameplay first experience. And then they showed a cinematic announcement trailer, and we'll have that on screen for you right now. After Returnal, we knew we had created something special and award-winning, but we also knew we wanted Returnal to stand on its own. With this in mind, we decided to create a new IP, which evolves our deep third-person action and mysterious storytelling, which I think makes a lot of sense. Returnal, phenomenal, but they're going to go in a different direction, as we're going to find out, as far as the gameplay goes, with Saros and giving it its own thing, and I really like that. So Saros is an action game with the haunting story of a lost off-world colony on Carcosa under an ominous eclipse. You play as Arun Devra, a powerful Soltari enforcer who will stop at nothing to find who he is looking for. Our goal is to create an emotional and powerful character study that explores the cost it takes to create a new future. So Arun is performed by Rahul Kohli, I believe that's how you say his name, and he was in Midnight Mass, The Fall of the House of Usher. He was in some really good Netflix stuff, but he's going to be playing the character, and it's modeled after him. It's quite obvious it's modeled after him. They also say he is not alone on Carcosa, and we will reveal more of our fantastic ensemble NPC cast and story information ahead, which is great. I really didn't want to see another game, which I loved Returnal, but I didn't want to see another game where there were no other NPCs that you would interact with. I'm glad that there will be NPCs and story and a deeper story and characters in this game. That's awesome. And they give a difference between Saros and Returnal. They say a key gameplay distinction between Saros and Returnal is permanent resources and progression, making every death valuable. After every death, you will face a changed world, but in Saros, you will be able to choose and permanently upgrade your loadout from an evolving set of weapons and suit upgrades to come back stronger to overcome the challenges you face on Carcosa. And that's a huge difference. If you guys remember Returnal, you started all over completely. Even if you were like 2 levels in, you started from the beginning. Obviously, if you've got those permanent abilities, you would get to keep them. But other than that, you were starting all over from the beginning. So this is a massive change as far as that goes. They do let us know to expect our first look at extended gameplay later this year. So we will get that later this year. And they are calling it a single-player action game. And they say this is a dream project made by a dream team. Very exciting stuff. Guys, I want to tell you right now, as far as Housemarque goes, I have no reason to doubt Housemarque at all. I think they're gonna deliver. I really do. With Returnal and how good it was and how I had no expectations jumping into Returnal, but walked away with it being my game of the year for that year, speaks volumes for me personally. And they really did a good job there. So with Saros, I'm even more excited to see what they do here. And I do have to say it, I am so glad that PlayStation Studios is still able to give us strong male leads. Like, I felt like, and again, guys, like, I have no issue with female leads, but if we're going to talk about diversity, we have to have male and female characters, and them giving us a strong male lead like this is exciting. I'm very happy to see this, and it's cool because they did Celine with Returnal, and now they're doing Arun for this game, and it's awesome. Like, I like that. I like that we are going to see a strong male lead character, because, you know, obviously we want to see both. We need both if we're going to have true diversity in this case. Let me know what you guys think about Saros. Are you excited for this game? Do you think it looks good? Are you going to be buying it? How'd you feel about Returnal? Now, lastly, we're going to talk about the comment of the day. And this is actually based on one of my polls that I put out as far as the state of play. I got some interesting comments here, but I wanted to take this one because it was a unbiased take, I would say. There's sometimes you get some people who are just like, anything PlayStation is good. It doesn't matter what they do. It's perfect. And then you got some people who are just like, anything PlayStation sucks. So we want there to be some balance here. So obviously, that's why I went with this comment. As always, if you guys want to be in the next video, make sure you leave a comment, and you may make it into the next one. At Dewal Vander Kof 251, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, says, great third-party show, Rap PS Studios show, where the hell is Ghost of Yotei, and updates on games like Wolverine. And I totally understand where you're coming from with this one. So yes, I agree. Great third-party show, no doubt about it. We had a phenomenal third-party show. We got tons of good games as far as third-party went, and that's awesome. But we don't tune into a state of play to get third-party announcements. We go to watch a state of play because we want PlayStation Studios announcements, and if they sprinkle in some third-party stuff, that's fantastic as well. But we typically go there to see the PlayStation Studios games. As far as Ghost of Yotei goes, I think that one will just have its own state of play coming soon, or it might be the headliner with a couple other smaller titles sprinkled in there. But I really feel like we'll get that at the right time, especially because they wanted to give Saros its stage. I think that's why they probably didn't throw Ghost of Yotei in there as well. And they need to show us more later on this year anyway. It's not one show for the whole year. It's one show, and then they're going to do more afterwards as well. It's the first show of the year. As far as Wolverine goes, I do agree. I don't know what's going on with Wolverine. We haven't seen anything about Wolverine since the initial reveal. I think that was 4 years ago. So it's been a long time since we've seen Wolverine. And yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's weird that we haven't seen anything Wolverine related. I think we should see something this year. But then again, I don't know. A lot of this year still remains, so it's very possible for us to see it. But I do agree. I think that we need to see Wolverine. We need to see what's going on with that game. I know patience. I know all that stuff. Yes, but it's been 4 years since the initial reveal. It's due time that we get a reveal from, or a re-reveal from Insomniac. And I'm sure they will give us something probably later this year. But yeah, I understand the concerns with Wolverine. And I understand why you feel great third-party show, but not so much on the PlayStation Studios side of things. But I will pass that on to the rest of you guys. Let me know what you thought of the state of play. Was it good? Was it okay? Was it bad? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share the video to help grow our community. I thank you all for watching. Take care.